Most people think it's simple. Tiny houses are cheaper, RVs are more flexible, but the real math says otherwise. In 2026, a tiny house typically costs $45K to $90K before land and hookups. Many livable RVs run $20K to $70K, but park fees, fuel, and maintenance add up fast. Insurance, utilities, repairs, and depreciation change everything. The option that looks affordable online can cost thousands more per year in real life. This isn't about trends, it's about real money. Let's see which lifestyle actually protects your budget. The first shock in this comparison hits before you even move in. Upfront costs between a tiny house and an RV are not even close, and the difference changes your entire financial path. A tiny house usually starts between $30,000 and $70,000 for a basic build. Add real insulation, full kitchens, custom storage, or off-grid systems, and prices can jump past $100,000 fast. High-end models often land between $120,000 and $180,000. But the house is only step one. Setup costs matter. Foundation work, delivery, permits, utility hookups, septic or sewer connections can add thousands more. Then there's land. Rural acreage may average a few thousand per acre, but buildable residential lots near towns can cost far more depending on zoning and demand. An RV, by comparison, looks like a bargain at first glance. Travel trailers often start around $10,000 to $25,000. Larger fifth wheels and motorhomes range from $40,000 to $300,000 plus. There's no land purchase, no foundation, and you can move in immediately at an RV park with utilities ready. But lower entry cost doesn't mean lower long-term commitment. RV park fees replace land ownership, and availability can change by season or location. Tiny houses demand more cash up front, especially with land, but they create permanence and property value. RVs cost less to start, but you're buying mobility, not real estate. And that single decision drives nearly every cost that comes next. This is where the real comparison begins, because monthly expenses decide whether a lifestyle is sustainable or quietly draining your budget. For RV living, monthly costs add up faster than most expect. Campground or RV park fees are the biggest expense. For travel trailers, total monthly living costs typically fall between $825 and $1,750. For Class C motorhomes, costs rise to about $1,500 to $3,000 per month. These figures usually include parking, water, sewer, and sometimes electricity. Fuel is a major variable. Even light travel can add $150 to $400 per month, and frequent driving pushes that much higher. Insurance for an RV averages $50 to $150 monthly, depending on value and coverage. Internet often requires mobile hotspots or satellite plans, adding another $100 to $150. Tiny house monthly costs depend heavily on land. Renting a lot for a tiny house on wheels ranges from $250 to $1,500 per month. If you own land, lot rent disappears but is replaced by property taxes, utility bills, and maintenance. Utilities for grid-connected tiny homes often average $100 to $250 per month, similar to a small apartment. Insurance varies widely, typically $40 to $120 monthly, depending on classification. Internet is straightforward, usually standard home service. Maintenance costs differ too. RVs average $250 to $500 per year for routine upkeep, but unexpected repairs can be expensive. Tiny houses require less frequent maintenance, but repairs are more like a traditional home. Over time, stability versus mobility becomes the real cost divider. Healthcare and legal details are where many people get caught off guard. With a tiny house on owned land, things are simple. You have a fixed address, clear state residency, and easy access to local doctors, hospitals, and Medicare networks. Health insurance and Medicare work the same way they do for any homeowner. With an RV, it's more complicated. You still need a legal domicile state for insurance, voting, taxes, and Medicare. Many full-time RVers use states like Texas, Florida, or South Dakota because of favorable residency rules. Medicare itself works nationwide, but Medicare Advantage plans can be location restricted, which limits provider access when traveling. Mailing addresses also matter. RVers often rely on mail forwarding services, which are legal but not accepted by every bank or insurance company. Insurance for RVs is vehicle-based, while tiny houses may be insured as either a dwelling or RV, depending on how they're built and titled. State and local zoning laws affect tiny houses more than RVs. Some areas welcome them, others restrict or ban them entirely. Understanding these rules before buying can save years of frustration. This is where the real financial surprises show up. RVs depreciate quickly, much like cars. Many new RVs lose 20 to 30% of their value in the first year and up to 50% within 5 years, depending on usage and market conditions. Major repairs are another risk. Engine or transmission repairs on motorhomes can run $5,000 to $15,000, while roof replacements often cost $3,000 to $8,000. Even smaller issues like slide-outs or electrical systems can easily exceed $1,500. Tiny houses don't depreciate as fast, but they face zoning and code risks. Parking a tiny house in a non-approved area can lead to fines ranging from $100 to $1,000 per violation or forced relocation. Moving a tiny house isn't simple either. Professional towing typically costs $3,000 to $10,000, depending on distance and size. Storage is another overlooked expense. Many owners rent storage units costing $60 to $200 per month for extra belongings. These hidden costs don't look scary up front, but over time, they quietly decide which lifestyle stays affordable. When you compare real annual numbers, the answer depends on how you live. A travel trailer RV typically costs about $12,000 to $21,000 per year. This includes campground fees, utilities, insurance, maintenance, internet, and moderate fuel use. A Class C motorhome can climb to $18,000 to $36,000 annually, especially with frequent travel and higher fuel costs. A tiny house shows a different pattern. If you rent a lot, total yearly costs often land between $10,000 and $22,000, depending on rent and utilities. If you own land outright, annual costs can drop to around $6,000 to $12,000, covering property taxes, utilities, insurance, and maintenance. Depreciation changes the math. RVs lose value over time. Tiny houses tend to hold value better, especially when placed legally on owned land. So which saves more? Short-term or mobile living favors RVs. Long-term stationary living almost always favors tiny houses. Time, not price, is the deciding factor. Choose an RV if you value movement, flexibility, and changing scenery more than long-term savings. It works best for seasonal living, short-time horizons, or people who want to avoid land ownership and zoning rules. Just budget carefully for fuel and depreciation. Choose a tiny house if you want stability, predictable costs, and a place to settle long-term. It makes the most sense if you can legally place it on land you own or rent affordably. Neither option is cheap if done wrong. The best choice is the one that matches how long you plan to live this way and how much uncertainty you're comfortable managing.